This is America's oldest soccer tournament. Built in small towns with big dreams. From local grounds to the biggest stages. Part-timers and major leaguers chase the same thing. A cup that doesn't care about your club's payroll or what the pundits say. A cup that invites the chaos and carries a legacy. Under the lights, between the lines, it's one match at a time. To cement your name in history. This is the 111th edition of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
The U.S. Open Cup descends upon the scenic city as Day 2 commences. A new chapter in the illustrious history of this tournament unfolds in front of us tonight. And it's MLS Next Pro side, Chattanooga FC, welcoming in Kalonji Pro Profile, who make their Open Cup debut this evening. Alongside my broadcast partner, Ryan Davis, I'm Josh Lill. We're pleased to have you with us. And Ryan, there is plenty to be excited about. You have a newcomer taking on a seasoned veteran tonight.
Yeah, the new coach, Richard Dixon, he's bringing fresh ideas, allowing this Chattanooga team to be themselves, and a new voice in the locker room, which is going to pump them up in a time where they need to be pumped up.
Best finish overall for Chattanooga FC was the third round. That came just a few years ago. Coach Dixon was a part of one of those in 2022. But it's a big day for Kalonji Pro Profile. Regardless of the result, this day will be remembered by the lives of so many, and that's the beauty of the Open Cup.
I mean, they've been around since 2018, but it's moments like these that really put carvings into the history of the club. It brings stripes onto the badge, and it really gives meaning to the fans of why they're around the U.S. landscape. Kalonji, huge night tonight.
Chattanooga FC looks to right the ship after a tough road loss on Sunday, while the visitors, they have an opportunity to knock off a professional club in their first Open Cup appearance. Do not go anywhere. Starters at kickoff, up next.
Rodman cuts inside. Rodman to the far corner. It's a special goal from Trinity Rodman. Macario goes to chip the keeper. It's sublime. Lamar from distance. Sliding through, it's a chance for Antti. It's Gio Reyna across goal. Balogun! The way opens up for Alex Freeman. Rodman cuts inside. Rodman to the far corner. It's a special goal from Trinity Rodman. Macario goes to chip the keeper. It's sublime. Lamar from distance. Rodman cuts inside. Rodman to the far corner. It's a special goal from Trinity Rodman. Macario goes to chip the keeper. It's sublime. Lamar from distance.
Looking at the starting 11 for both sides, and starting with Chattanooga FC, even with Eldin Jakupovic and Alex McGrath unavailable for selection tonight, Chattanooga's depth still makes them very dangerous.
Like you said, Alex McGrath, the heart and soul not around, but Griffin Huff gets a chance in goal to show what he's made of for this Chattanooga FC team, provide some competition between the posts to them. Also, Isaiah Jones gets his start, or Alex Creel as well gets a chance up top to make some noise for Chattanooga.
and Kalonji Pro Profile, led by head coach and founder Bruno Kalonji. And their starting 11 will feature 4 alums from Georgia Gwinnett College.
I'm looking forward to Karim Tamimi, the number 9 for Kalonji. He's a set-piece taker. He nibbles on that left-hand side, and he loves to create. Just the type of player we love.
Finley Stadium is the site for game number 1 on game 2 of the U.S. Open Cup. We're happy to have you with us, and along with Ryan Davis, I'm Josh Lill. Plenty of juicy storylines throughout this match to be told between third-tier side Chattanooga FC, as Nathan Kohler, a lot to unpack with him, and for the visitors in Kalonji Pro Profile making their first appearance in the U.S. Open Cup.
I tell you what, just tactics-wise, 4-4-2 is the lineup for Chattanooga. They have 2 out-and-out center forwards with John and Creel, but this 4-2-3-1 of Kalonji FC, they're going to invite Chattanooga onto them. Chattanooga had a hard loss over the weekend. They're going to come back to lick their wounds and correct things. Chattanooga is going to come forward with possession. Kalonji is going to absorb and then be direct over the top to try and catch them on a counter. The longer this game goes on at 0-0, the better for Kalonji.
Kalonji Pro Profile in the black and gold kits with black letters and numbers going left to right. Chattanooga in the light blue kits with dark blue letters and numbers going right to left. It's currently 53 degrees in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There was a little bit of rain expected. The sun has come out since we last did our open.
Yeah, thank goodness for these guys. I mean, the weather has been crummy throughout the northeast and the center part of the country. The fact these guys get a chance to play in some sunshine is a welcome sight.
Plenty of touches early on in the midfield. It's that feeling out process, but you expect that for the first ever meeting between these two clubs.
Yeah, especially Chattanooga. They want to get back in rhythm. They come back home after that run in Chicago, losing 2-1 on the road in MLS Next Pro. They want to come back and find their rhythm, and they really want to just stroke the ball around the park, get everybody a touch, and then pounce.
Errant touch by the visitors. Sets up Chattanooga FC. There's Anthony Sorensen at left back, a new addition from the Charlotte Independents of USL League One. Brings a lot of versatility at the back line, knows when to go in for the attack, but can fortify defensively. Ball inside, inviting a line along the byline. A nice flick in. Daring attempt, and eventually jarred loose, and the visitors can run.
Well, that was a heavy, heavy touch coming in from the number 11, Mohan. You expect more from the statuesque winger, 6'3". He usually has a better touch than that, and he's the type of player that this Chattanooga team is going to rely on to make inroads on that right-hand side, which will then create space for players like Jones and John, just on his left-hand shoulder.
Space to work with here for the visitors. A nice give and go, eventually dialed away, but it's those quick actions by Kalonji Pro Profile that can get them set up in transition.
Yeah, Awanja Medard right here on the right-hand side, a dynamic attacker. You can see him get on the ball right now. He's strong, he has pace, he's trouble.
Here's Medard, inviting ball in, and the first challenge there for Griffin Huff, but it's not before the offside flag is raised. Again, normally in net for Chattanooga, you'll see Eldin Jakupovic, who's won just about every trophy in just about every league. You can walk away with hardware. But today, the youngster Griffin Huff of Lafayette College getting an opportunity between the sticks.
What an opportunity for him. There is just a little slight hint of pressure in this match, understanding they cannot afford to lose at home after losing in Chicago. But because they're a better team on paper in tonight's match, that's the reason he gets the call, gets a chance to make his name in the cup competition. So many teams use their backup keeper, just to say, as of now, he's the backup keeper. They use the cups for the chance for the keepers to get meaningful minutes in competitive scenarios.
In talking with interim coach Dixon in the days leading up to the match, he mentioned guys like Michael Barraweta and Griffin Huff. They easily could be the second option on this team. They've learned a lot from a guy like Eldin Jakupovic. But the one thing he had to say about Huff specifically, he's got a lot of quickness, he's technical, and has that ability to play between the lines.
Tell you what, first chance for Chattanooga to try and put the ball in for the number 11 Mohan, the 6'3" Mohan, and also the center backs coming up, such as Sasar and Kola.
Really test in, cleared away, and it sets up the first corner kick of the evening.
Well, a chance for Kalonji just to get back defensively, find their defensive posture, protect their goalkeeper. The 18-year-old Maynard will need protection on these cross balls. Now, if you're Chattanooga, you want to bring this ball as close as possible to the 6-yard area just to test the goalkeeper. Let him see how he's feeling in the early minutes of the match.
Again, Ashton Maynard in net for the visitors, and Ashton Gordon with in-swing on this set piece.
I cannot tell you how that gives coaches an ulcer when you bring your centre-backs up, either as a free kick or a corner kick, and the set-piece taker cannot even get past the first defender. It drives coaches crazy.
Chance here on the break for Chattanooga FC. Into the area it goes. Sid Mohand along the line, one-timer. Misses that, let stick barely.
Well, Creel making that run, he saw the number 11 Mohan to his right. He hooked it right back on top of the 6-yard box. Excellent decision by Mohan. He saw the traffic push it coming forward. He brought the ball behind the traffic, and there was Creel almost turning it in.
He wanted Gordon on the near side of the pitch and couldn't connect. Kalonji Pro profile had been tested defensively early, but have had that bend don't break mentality. Tiente with it. Up ahead and safely played out by Farid Satsar, wearing the captain's armband in place of Alex McGrath today.
Well, the number 5, Satsar, of course, is Argentine. There's so many centre-backs to talk about in that country's history. Daniel Pasarela, Roberto Ayala. So to Jose Luis Brown, the winner in 1986 World Cup. So he comes from a long line of pedigree at centre-back from Argentina. Just to give the viewers at home a little bit of insight on the number 5. Why does Satsar wear the number 5 on his back? Well, in South America, they call that position the libero. And the libero position is usually known as the number 5. They're the brains at the back, so they direct traffic and also do a lot of covering for the back line. Hence the reason for the 5 at the back.
And the covering is going to be key today against a quick Kalonji Pro profile team. His head will have to be on a swivel for certain.
Absolutely, Kalonji and Maynard, 2 very quick players.
Inviting ball down the near side for Ashton Gordon, and a well-timed challenge there from Elgero de Mace. And a Chattanooga player currently down on the ground. It's Gordon.
Well, Gordon got there first and Demise got there last. No yellow card in this one. The centre-back coming across and making sure that Gordon does not progress. And a second free kick. This one's a lot more dangerous than the last one, but it's going to give a chance now, like we mentioned, for the centre-backs to come back up and getting a dangerous spot.
Ashton Gordon, just like he did on the first corner kick, to take this set piece. Gordon on loan from Atlanta United to an MLS Next Pro for the entirety of this season.
There is Satsar, the centre-back.
Gordon without swing, challenge, and the header over.
Well, it's going to take him a little while to get out of the net. But that's a fantastic delivery by Gordon to the last post, asking the question of Maynard. And what an opportunity on the doorstep. Keeper was beaten, just couldn't convert.
Now, Ashton Maynard came up clutch in that fourth-round qualifying match to get Kalonji Pro Profile into this very tournament with his side up 1-0. Made a clutch save. There was enough presence there for Nathan Kohler.
Yeah, and Gordon did exactly what I said he should do. Try to test this keeper from early. 18 years old, he's a little shaky, he's a little nervous. Put the ball as close to him as possible. Let him make the play. He missed it, and so did Kohler.
And Kohler standing 6'3", very well could have had a shot. But yesterday, plenty of action in the first day of the 2026 U.S. Open Cup. Richmond Kickers victorious Rhode Island with a shutout, but that was the big story. Vermont Green with a 1-0 victory, as Chattanooga are threatening now. And eventually collected by Maynard.
Oh, good distribution as well. It didn't work out with the second touch, but Maynard's distribution on the ground to, I believe it was Timimi.
Well, on the back line today for Chattanooga, it's Nathan Kohler, and has an interesting story. Last year, 28 matches played in over 2,200 minutes. There's Kohler with it now, but out of high school, decides to move to Liverpool, pursue professional soccer, takes up school at John Moores University while developing with Prescott Cables FC in the Northern Premier League. And then all of a sudden, his sister, Elena, kind of became his unofficial agent. She loves LinkedIn, she finds Chattanooga FC, and eventually learned, okay, they need another defender. So she encouraged Nathan, you should reach out, send your tape, which he did. He hears back, and at the start of 2025, goes on a 10-day trial. Next thing you know, 1-year deal with an option to pick it up, and a shove inside the box, and the official pointing to the spot, and Kalonji Pro Profile have the biggest scoring opportunity in their club's history right in front of them.
The number 10, playing like a number 10, Owanja Medard, just nibbling at the defender, inviting the challenge, and Sorensen put his foot in the cookie jar, and he was caught. Fantastic bit of dribbling by Medard, waiting for the tackle as it came, just maneuvered away, drew the foul, and now, superb chance.
It's Tony Tiente with a chance to give Kalonji Pro Profile the lead in the first round of the U.S. Open Cup. A three-time NAIA All-American with the opportunity of a lifetime at his right foot. Here's Tiente. Save made by Griffin Huff. Oh, it's floated in. Did you have any doubt? Braden Kalonji has given the visitors the lead.
Huff did everything right. He chose the right corner, he got down, strong right hand save. Superb save by the keeper. But that was a bit of magic of the Open Cup. And Kalonji somehow hit it beautifully. This is the penalty. Nibbling away, Medard drew the foul perfectly from Sorensen. Tiente stepped up. Look at Huff, low down to the right. He read it all the way. But look at this, one-time finish. Side foot, corner pocket, 1-0. That is bravery. He didn't ask for permission. He took his time and found that far corner.
Huff off his line by a matter of several steps, and Braden Kalonji with poison precision able to punish the young keeper and give UPSL side Kalonji Pro Profile the lead inside the first 15 minutes of play. Again, Braden Kalonji with the goal, unbelievable. I mean, there's so much magic within the U.S. Open Cup. You kind of forget about it a little bit between November and March. Then that third week of March rolls around, and all of a sudden, you're reminded of the beauty of this competition.
Just a little bit of hint of spring in the air now in Chattanooga, but boy, oh boy, U.S. Open Cup means upsets, and as of right now, 15 minutes in, or in the 15th minute, Kalonji FC are sniffing out something really, really delicious in Chattanooga.
The hosts eager for a quick get back. Might take a little more to get than needed.
That little bit of anxiety, the 2-1 loss in Chicago, coming back home now, down 1-0 to a team you're supposed to be on top. Little anxiety setting in on the sideline with Coach Richard Dixon. He's on his feet, directing traffic, barking orders. And the men in blue are now have to find their way back into this match.
Kalonji Pro Profile, one of 8 teams making their U.S. Open Cup debut here in 2026. And it has started in dramatic fashion, to say the least. And it's only fitting based on how their last game in the 4th round of the qualifiers back in November, how that went. The lone goal on a PK from Grant Carr, a couple of great saves by Ashton Maynard set them up to make a run in this competition. It's only fitting that you have back-to-back games of pure hype, adrenaline, and a rush of football.
And they're full of confidence. They just won 4-0 on the weekend. Actually, Braden Kalonji was one of the goal scorers, so he's in ripping form. So they believe coming into Chattanooga that they could win this match. As for Chattanooga, they've conceded 8 goals in their last 3 matches, sorry. Conceded 8, scored 6, which means at the back they've been leaking. Now that scenario, they didn't leak a goal other than Braden Kalonji's fantastic finish, but they drew the penalty because of Sorensen not being patient.
And here is Sorensen defending Medard. Cross on the byline, rejected at the moment, but they're finding something on that right side of the formation and the verticality of this Kalonji Pro Profile team. We had that noted on our boards going into this game.
Yeah. And this Kalonji team, I mean, 4-0 on the weekend. Now you're up 1-0 here. They're sniffing blood in the water.
And Ryan, you bring in the factor of having played games around this match. It's the same for Kalonji Pro Profile. Played a game 3 days before this, like Chattanooga FC, and guess what? Both of these clubs will have to do the same 3 days later, so they are just having an action-packed week, and it's important to load manage in this situation.
Absolutely. Kalonji, of all people, don't have the deepest roster in competing on 2 separate competitions, so they have to ask their regulars to come back out again.
Inviting ball inside, Gordon whiffs, point-blank chance, and it's over the crossbar.
I love the unselfishness, but not in that scenario. Gordon is on top of the 6-yard box. What a beautiful delivery coming in from Chiap. On top of the 6-yard box. Good defending in the end, but everyone seems to be losing their balance. So to Alexander Creel, who just couldn't find enough contact to convert.
Corner kick here from Gordon. A wicked header over the bar. Sarsar saw that opportunity, but a little too much heat on it.
Much better delivery this time by Gordon. He actually got past that first defender, gave his defender, Sarsar, a chance to try to glance one in. Now, still early days, Josh. Chattanooga is going to stick to their game plan, stroke the ball around the park, make Kalonji chase shadows a little bit. Chasing shadows means you get tired in the second part of the game, the second half. So if the Chattanooga team, who have great ball handlers, can control the tempo of the game, they will get back in this match. They have too much attacking power, especially with players like John and Creel up top.
And that's part of the Chattanooga game plan. They want to own the ball. They want to make you basically follow their attacking actions, and they'll also add a bit of dynamic play, and improving that in the middle third is what Coach Dixon wants to see.
Well, that's where the money is made, right, in the attacking third. That's when the injection of pace has to come in. And that's when the wingers, like Mohan as well as Gordon, have to strut their stuff.
Chayab hounded in the corner. It forces a throw-in for Chattanooga. And that is an area where Coach Dixon wants to improve a little bit in terms of playing through the lines. And they haven't had a chance to get better at it because all 3 opponents that they've taken on in MLS Next Pro have forced them to play over the top. We'll see if they get that chance today, but so far it's been a lot of crosses from the outside as Kalonji Pro Profile has stayed compact.
Now to give you a visual, 21 of the 22 players are inside the Kalonji half at this point. Only the keeper Huff for Chattanooga is in his own half. They have pushed him right back into a low block, so even if Kalonji gets back possession, there are no avenues to get the ball out.
Every pass in this backline area is so crucial because with the speed of the visitors, one errant pass could lead to something miraculous for Kalonji and quite hurtful for Chattanooga.
I have to say Kalonji did a great job being disciplined in that sequence. They stayed compact. They allowed Chattanooga to go out wide with their wingbacks like Chiap and Sorensen. However, no room at all for players like Ortiz and Jones to control the middle of the park.
Floated in toward the area. And Kalonji Pro Profile, they've gotten most of their action in transition. We haven't seen them necessarily set up shop in the attacking third. Oh, Keys poke away there. That's Elgero de Mace prying that one away from the feet.
I love that tackle.
Sid Mohan.
That tackle was so loud, it was heard all over Chattanooga as Mohan tried to make a run. Mohan coming on the left-hand side now from the right. I like him better on this side. He provides natural width for Chattanooga. However, DeMays measured that tackle to perfection. And it's those kind of tackles that gets defenders' confidence going.
Confidence now so key for Chattanooga FC. And again, it starts with the back. And guys like Kohler and Sarsar, can they set the standard for that last line of defense and give their other teammates confidence going forward? They'll certainly be tested here in the next few minutes. Nice feed inside by Medard, the give and go. Kept in for now.
The body language at this point, Josh. Kalonji first to everything.
Inside to the area, pass back, and a heavy touch forces a Chattanooga break. Sid Mohan, near side run available. Opts not to find Sarsar, he'll take it himself, cut inside. Chance for Krell, and it's stopped.
The injection of pace by Creel was fantastic. Sarsar making the run, that was the decoy, back into Creel, this injection of pace right here. But it brings Andrew Maynard, brings the best out of Maynard, but you love that swift movement by Chattanooga.
And Maynard had the help of one of his teammates there. It might have taken a small deflection off the defender. It's hard to power the ball through one, let alone two defenders. Better played inside. Still in the attacking third.
I tell you what, Josh, this game is oozing the magic of the cup. Of course, Kalonji came in here and took the lead against Chattanooga. Of course they did. 1-0 now, Josh. Now the home team trying to find a way in. It is superb. This is why viewers turn it back on. Keep your new toys of all the new cups. Give me the one that's 111 years old with all the history, all the markings, all the dents. That's the one I want.
Well, and Coach Dixon said it best himself for Chattanooga FC. He mentioned this is a chance for the small clubs and the players who haven't gotten a lot of playing time, a chance to showcase yourselves on a big national stage. And right now, it's the opponent that's taking advantage of that opportunity. Chattanooga taking their time, looking for the long ball, and hopelessly play it back to the opponent's back line. Collision right at the center circle, and it stays with the hosts.
Well, despite the free kick being so far away from goal, definitely not in a dangerous position, but it allows blue shirts now to funnel forward, because Kalonji, just for about, I would say 2-3 minutes, had Chattanooga on the ropes on this side. Now it allows blue shirts to push forward into dangerous areas, and now they get to operate with players like Gordon and so too number 47 Jones.
The counterattack has been the key difference today, but neither team getting set up in possession. However, this is the best that Chattanooga have looked, maintaining the ball in their own attack, or actually in Kalonji's attacking third.
What a coordinated press. Here they come, they're hunting in packs. And the lines are so tight, Josh, that even though they're going to press in certain areas, the line is pushing up together, so there are no gaps for Chattanooga to play in.
Yeah, Sorensen immediately denied on cue, Ryan.
That is a well-coached team. Of course, Bruno Kalonji is the coach. We have 3 Kalonjis on Kalonji FC. That is how organic this cup is. That's how organic this club is.
Given away. And return to Kohler. Sid Mohan wanted to be unleashed on that near side. Instead, it's worked opposite. Parker John floats it off in the middle. Shot blocked there.
Gordon has to be more decisive there. He hesitated, allowed the defender to cover the angle. He had 3 blue shirts waiting for the cross. He went for the shot at the last post. Gordon has to step up now and try to deliver for Chattanooga when he gets the ball in those dangerous areas.
Pressure there, and it's Damian Barker-John trying to break a play along that Kalonji back line. Key challenge. Nice one by Jones. Sid Mohad. Double teamed in the corner. Chattanooga switching the field of play. Sets up a crossing opportunity if they want to take it.
Kalonji won't mind them being out wide. Once they cross the ball into the trees, Kalonji is so compact and disciplined at this point. There are no blue shirts allowed to get on the end of a cross.
You can see how far up all 10 field players for Chattanooga are, all well within the confines of the attacking half. Barker-John, his shot blocked. Shielding the ball, it stays in momentarily on the byline and out for another Chattanooga corner kick.
Sasar in the last corner got to the first post and headed one just over the crossbar. Keep your eyes on the number 5.
Kohler getting into a shoving match right in the middle of the pitch. Keeper way out of position. And a little help defense from the other field players of Kalonji Pro profile to pave way for Maynard to get back in net.
Well, Andrew Maynard came out, but he never got there. All he did was push over his center back, and that could have gone anywhere in an open goal. Now 2 players down. Here it is again. Good direct cross by Gordon. Invites Maynard. He comes out, never gets there. Open goal. 2 defenders just waiting there. And now 2 players hit the deck.
And what was key on that play was Sam Pavlotsky was backing down Nathan Kohler, not allowing him to get to the ball and turn on a chance to play it over the head of Ashton Maynard, who was way off his line.
Yeah, perfect set piece. Players trying to block other players just to free up some more blue shirts.
Coach Dixon has felt like this year his side is often playing in the role of the comeback. They're conceding a lot of goals, as you mentioned, 8 within their first 3 games in MLS Next Pro. mentioned we shouldn't have to score an average of 3 or more goals to win a game. We should be able to score 1 or 2 and come away with the victory.
That's right. I mean, Sorensen, of course, the entire backline throughout the earliest part of the season, and the midfield as well. Everyone's part of the team has not been defensively cohesive, and Sorensen was really left on an island. But as a defender, there's no reason to put a tackle in there. All you have to do is keep your positioning in between the goal and the striker and shepherd him away from the goal. As soon as you stick your foot in, a wily old veteran like Maynard is just going to push it wide, draw the contact, get the penalty. Which Huff did a great job, by the way, in saving.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think one thing we haven't talked about enough.
How good of a save it was, right?
Is Griffin Huff.
It was an amazing save.
Sorensen tackled from behind, and that is a no-doubter.
Well, defending may not be his strength today, but Sorensen is so quick on that first step. And Ramos was left in the dust, hands all over the shoulder, easy call. Now you want Gordon's delivery again. He has to get past his first defender to allow Sasa, to allow Kohler, and to allow Creel a chance. And he's 6'3", Mohan, an opportunity.
I will say the ball being played outside of the 6, it's baited Maynard off his line. And you have to take that into account in terms of the strategy here on this free kick for Chattanooga. Here's Gordon with outswing, low to the ground and denied by Maynard.
Cheeky, 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 and we love it. Tested Maynard, fantastic save. Understand Maynard punched the ball right back into the mixer, which is dangerous.
Chayop's aggressive run and challenge paying off. Sid Mohan taken down cleanly, and the crowd doesn't like it one bit. Kalonji profile on the fast break.
Great
lose
job.
It again.
Corralling, containing, and winning that ball fairly.
And look how much ground Anthony Sorensen had to cover. At that left back spot, goes all the way to the back right part of the field to win that ball. Gordon to Krell. Nifty move. And that's off the side netting.
Well, apologies to Mohan. Creel, you love a centre forward being hungry for goal, but there really isn't much angle to work with here. Lovely through ball. Creel making that run again. Injection of pace. Get past the first challenge. You really should be able to get past that first challenge. But you have to try Mohan's feet on top of the 6-yard box with Creel in possession.
Krell, another great story with Chattanooga FC. Started this year on trial in the preseason. Eventually signed to a contract. Just to showcase, not just Chattanooga FC, but MLS Next Pro in its entirety, giving guys with different ranges of experience, a variety of backgrounds, an opportunity to play at the highest level.
Thank you for bringing up the landscape of U.S. soccer. Someone like Kalonji. I think you mentioned at the start of the broadcast, 4 players from Georgia Gwinnett College. They would have nowhere to go. They'll be lost playing Sunday League soccer, which is fine, but now they have a home because there's another UPSL side. We have UPSL, USL League 2, USL League 1, USL Championship, MLS Next Pro, MLS, all sustainable leagues for players in the 3rd largest country on the planet, where players have a home to earn their right to play on the field every given weekend.
Well, and how cool it is to see both these clubs represent small communities of their own that are so passionate. Last year when Chattanooga FC took on Chattanooga Red Wolves at this very stadium in the 2nd round of the Open Cup, I don't know if I've seen a bigger crowd at a Division III professional level stadium. It was unbelievable.
A Chattanooga derby.
And that's just a credit to the Chattahooligans.
Who are still making noise, by the way, if you listen carefully. The drums and the racket started with the first whistle, and we're in the 35th minute, and the Chattahooligans are making their presence felt.
Hopefully it carries down onto the pitch, because their side starting to create a little more chances. The Kalonji profile have, I guess, been the reason that they haven't been able to execute. Execution piece missing tonight for the hosts, as the chances are there.
Lovely switch. It was dangerous, but the fact that he changed the point of attack so quickly, it sort of loosens up this Kalonji midfield.
The sun beginning to shine down a little harder at Finley Stadium. Maybe a sign of things to come for Chattanooga FC as Sorensen draws a hard foul right near that corner spot.
And that's the first yellow.
Wanja Medard given the first booking of the evening, and Sorensen had something to say about it as well.
Well, Sorensen was brought down by Ramos with full of hands on the tackle before. This time, Medard, he dove in for the first time. The referee allowed it to play on. And this time, the second time, just completely took out Sorensen. Now, they've won free kicks on either side of this 18-yard box, close enough for Gordon to really start to pick out players. This is Gordon's 4th or 5th free kick, where he has a dead ball scenario. Kola, Sassar, and Mohan all shifty on top of that 6-yard box. A great chance for Gordon to pick one out.
Kohler standing 6'3". Definitely the target when it comes to height. As things will get cleaned up right in the middle by our head official. A lot of the defending in this scenario is going to fall on Kamani Irving and Aljero De Mace. How do they mark their man?
Well, if Coach Dixon didn't have a also before, Gordon made sure that he's going to bend over at his waist. Another horrific delivery by Gordon. Not allowing his centre-backs to get on the end of it. They were brought up for the free kick. They never had a chance.
Chattanooga off the throw-in. The double team solid. Medard. Up through and
Beautiful tackle.
nearly unleashed. Kohler in the right place at the right time. And Sorensen can control. Sid Mohan. Can't work near the box and forced to retreat.
Great job by Kalonji, keeping their shape, staying compact. And now they have to try on the other side.
Anthony Sorensen and Yves Chayup have switched in terms of the fullback position. You wonder what Coach Dixon is seeing currently to make that adjustment.
Yeah, the lefty on the right-hand side and the righty on the left-hand side means instead of just getting down the side and crossing, he wants them to look inside, get the ball to Creel, who's been so good taking players on and creating chances for himself and other players, rather than players getting to the byline and crossing.
And Sorensen, based on the past couple of sequences, returning to that left back spot. So Coach Dixon trying all the tricks here to catch Kalonji Pro profile off guard.
You just look at the intensity of a Caden Kalonji and a Braden Kalonji. Up top, they've been setting the tempo. So often we look at defenders and try to read their MO, read their body language. But when the forwards are so interested in pressing, it's a ripple effect to everyone else.
Chattanooga working quickly. Want to spread out this Kalonji defense. Again, crossing to the right side with that same intent. And they'll have to try again. Oh, physical tackle. And a positive play for Kalonji Pro profile. That slow roller. Eventually taken away by Isaiah Jones. Ashton Gordon. Needs reinforcements. There's Krell on the near side. Nice give and go. Timely cross by Gordon. Wanted Sid Mohand. It's out for a goal kick.
Love the delivery by Sorensen. He put it deep just beyond the penalty spot, and it was John who came in. Great delivery. It beat all the defenders because they're staying so compact, which is fine, but that allowed John to creep in from center midfield to almost get on the end of it. His free kicks have been awful, but that delivery in open play, gorgeous.
Damian Barker-John has done a good job of being more or less a trail player on those second chance actions.
Wow.
And all of a sudden here, Medard with green grass to run, through traffic, a layoff, and Huff able to cover it.
Well, he has pace and size. He has excellent ball control. He has the whole package, Medard. And even though there were two blue shirts around him, he still had the ability to poke that ball into open space to look for a runner. Didn't work out there, but it shows what a handful he is on this near side.
Nice job of Huff to get off his line in a timely manner, get on the ball to prevent a one-timing chance right at the edge of the 6-yard box, as we have a player down for Chattanooga FC. And it's Damian Barker-John, and appears to be okay. Inside to Barker-John. Looking to open up space on that second run. And fullbacks Chiap and Sorensen, they've worked their way closer into that central column. Sid Mohand. Ball in the box, and it's way behind Gordon. Oh, he would love that one back.
This is what I'm concerned about with Kalonji, though. They understand they're up 1-0. Fantastic goal. They had momentum. After the goal, they continue to press. They continue to have that energy. But as the game is starting to wear on, you're starting to see less steam in the legs of Kalonji. They're starting to sit back, allowing Chattanooga now to get their rhythm. And I just don't want Kalonji to get into a shell, because it's very hard to get out of a shell once you get in there. And that all depends now on the forwards. Kalen Kalonji, Braden Kalonji, they have to set the tone up top in pushing forward and trying to get that tempo, that speed.
Quick touch by Sorensen, and he'll be met by a couple of players in the black and the gold. Now, you mentioned play is going to be relied on by the Kalonji brothers up top to keep that pace going, but it's for certain Awanja Medard has done his job to get the ball from one third to the other.
He's been fantastic, and he's such a target and an outlet for players like Ramos and Pawlowski. To use him on this right-hand side, he can absorb contact, he can absorb pressure and release.
Chaya back to Kohler. Kalonji Pro profile inviting Chattanooga a little more. So you can see them back up. But that first pass is just met with such intensity.
Well, that pass didn't pay off, but the fact now they've gained so many yards and Kalonji has to come all the way back to the defensive third, and it's allowed the blue shirts to push up and get some attacking players forward.
Gordon tight roping along that near touchline. Safely back out to Kohler. And it can throw you off because you see right now, there's so much space for the ball to go, and then it's immediately closed down by Kalonji Pro Profile. It goes to show how quick they really are.
Yeah, and I think Kalonji will be looking forward to the halftime break to regroup. Because at this point, Chattanooga is starting to enclose on their goal with possession.
Officially 2 minutes of stoppage time announced. Chattanooga would certainly love all of the ball. Nifty move there by Gordon. Inside to Krell. His pass on the ground. Sid Mohan. That shot blocked. Rebound. And they even it up right before the break. Ortiz, the teenager, with the biggest goal of his career.
It was coming. They were knocking on the door. They started to push Kalonji back. They were running out of steam after they were chasing shadows. Gordon in the thick of things. Look at Krell, that change of pace, and he puts it right back in the danger area. And look at the back heel by Mohan. Absolutely beautiful. It sets it wrong-footed all of the defenders, allowed Ortiz to now turn, tuck it home. Great team effort, starting with Gordon, Krell, Mohan, Ortiz.
Nathan Chari and company doing everything they can to stop a shot opportunity. It worked the first time. Players hit the deck, but eventually not enough. And that goal officially recorded in the first minute of stoppage time for Darwin Ortiz.
I tell you what, the conversation at the halftime for Chattanooga is a lot different, being down 1-0 compared to 1-1. That was huge. However, same for Kalonji. They want to get to the break to regroup.
Just seconds away. Kalonji on it. Retreated back. Braden Kalonji. A dart inside and right into the chest of Huff.
That was so South American of Sassar. Just took the air right out of the ball. Nodded it back to his goalkeeper. No more danger.
Time winding down here in the first half of play. In the first game of day 2 in the U.S. Open Cup. And it certainly has not disappointed by any means. We expect it to go on just a little longer based on the celebration and stoppage time. The visitors might have one more chance in them. But there's the halftime whistle. Chattanooga FC even it up in stoppage time at 1 apiece. What an exciting first half. There was so much going on, and it was a lot of fun to watch, Ryan.
And Kalonji coming into Chattanooga, they set the tone with a terrific goal coming from Braden Kalonji. It put Chattanooga on their backs just for a little while. Chattanooga worked their way back in, got possession, and earned that equalizer just before the half.
Kalonji Pro Profile setting the tone on the counterattack, but Chattanooga FC able to set up shop, get control of possession, and work for a goal late in stoppage time to make it 1 apiece. We'll be back shortly with scores and highlights and stats coming up next. Back at Finley Stadium in the first round of the U.S. Open Cup, Chattanooga FC even at one apiece with UPSL's side Kalonji Pro Profile along with Ryan Davis. I'm Josh Lill. It's been an action-packed first half of play, and we've got a lot of good highlights to break it down.
Yeah, Kalonji came in here, absolutely represented UPSL, and boy, did they ever get settled in pretty quickly.
Well, Chattanooga had a couple of early chances, but the execution piece was missing.
In the last third, they couldn't find the final product. I see the balls were just a little bit behind them. Creel had a fantastic effort to finish there. And then Gordon's delivery towards the back post, it beat Maynard in goal, and Kola has to nod that in.
Now, Kalonji Pro Profile found something with a Wanja Medard, and this play set up a whole bagload of tricks for the visitors.
He drew Sorensen's tackle, he waited for it. As he got it, evaded it, went over, won it.
A penalty kick save here, diving by Griffin Huff, and immediately Braden Kalonji, the 14-year-old, with a doozy.
14 years old, scoring beauties in US Open Cup. You know what I was doing at 14 years old? Other than picking my nose, nothing else. And he scores an absolute gem.
But since then, Chattanooga FC regained their composure and found themselves getting closer and closer toward net.
Kalonji fell into the trap of starting to defend a one-goal lead, gave up a lot of possession, as you see here, from Mohan. And Mohan picks out Creel with another injection of pace. Maynard, the St. Kitts and Nevis U20 goalkeeper, with a fantastic save.
And then how about this? Gordon, a wicked ball on the ground, steered aside by Maynard.
Again, Maynard getting to the ground, reacting quickly. But Gordon started to find his way into the game. And this was incredible.
And Krell's cross on the ground. It ends up finding Ortiz, and the 17-year-old put home the first goal in his young professional career.
But what happened with Kalonji? Look at the possession count, 67-33. When you're chasing shadows like that, you get fatigued. They got fatigued towards the end of the first half, and Chattanooga made the most of it by getting that goal.
Each keeper with a couple of saves, but Chattanooga FC, look at the shots, 11-2.
Incredible. That means you're making use of your possession. It's just not meaningless possession. Creel could have had 2 goals already. So too Mohan. But Maynard has come up with some good saves to keep it at 1-1.
Just one booking against the visitors thus far, and we're just a few moments away from restarting play at Finley Stadium. And in the second half, in terms of Kalonji Pro Profile, feels like what you're looking for is gaining their composure back, getting back to transitional play. That's what worked for them best.
Understand that most of this team played on the weekend, even though they won 4-0 against Augusta. Because you have a very, very narrow roster, this Kalonji team has to ask its starters from the weekend to come and start again. So they ran out of legs, ran out of steam. Now you have to put fresh legs in if you're the coach of Kalonji, and then also you have to sort of revitalize those players in the second half to try and find a way back in the second half.
Damian Barker-John will exit for Chattanooga FC, and replacing him, Keegan Anselin, the University of Western Florida alum, coming in as a reinforcement in the second half for the boys in blue. Chattanooga FC ready to go, going left to right. And around that half-hour mark, it appeared they got settled in possession, and they were closely moving toward a goal. And that's what eventually set up Darwin Ortiz.
But what a team effort too, because everyone was touching the ball regularly in the last 10 minutes of that first half. Everyone was confident in Chattanooga. So hence that team goal. Gordon Creel made a fantastic run, and when he hooked it back, number 11, hands on hips on your screen, Mohan with a back heel completely off balancing that defense. And Ortiz, he got fortunate, he had a shot, it ricocheted back in his path, but the second one was a finish.
Chattanooga FC, one of 2 MLS Next Pro teams in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup this year. As for Kalonji Pro Profile, one of 8 teams making their debut this year, and of course went through 4 qualifying rounds back in November to put themselves in a spot for hardware this year. And this is their first appearance in the US Open Cup, and it started with a smash mouth play.
Well, we always knew this was going to be their biggest night as of their history for Kalonji, and boy, have the players stepped up.
Grant Carr, who will wear number 5 for the black and gold, checking in for Kalonji Pro Profile as we are underway for the final 45 minutes of play between Chattanooga FC and Kalonji Pro Profile. the hosts with an early takeaway off the kickoff. A banger from Amzian Sidmohand.
Well, boy, has he made his entry in the second half. He had the back heel at the end of the first for Ortiz's goal. That's an assist. His first touch of the second half. But look at the runners. Right off the meat. Right off the jump of the gun. Bang, he intercepts. And now, off to the races. Number 26, Anselin, makes a run. He draws the defenders with him and beats Maynard with a fantastic low drive. A Messi-esque finish full of technique and precision.
Kaimani Irving with the lackadaisical play off the kickoff, just 17 seconds into the second half. And Amzian Sidmohand, like a shark in bloody water, all over that ball and gives the hosts the lead they so desired.
I tell you what, Kalonji, they had their heads. Bruno Kalonji, the head coach for his side, that must have hurt after that loud talk in the dressing room, getting them riled back up to take on this Chattanooga team away from home in Chattanooga. And then Mohan had completely different ideas. You give the ball up, but again, his decision-making, his probing, and then he run by Anselin, took the defenders with him, and what a technique. He still had so much to do, and it was a fantastic strike.
Kohler playing the long ball and headed down. Again, the bread and butter for this Kalonji Pro profile team in the first half was Ohanja Bedard.
Yeah, that was, I tell you what, that's something to cry over if you're going to concede in the opening minute like that. I mean, it was a beautiful goal, but for Kalonji, I tell you what, your knees will buckle.
Well, they bring in Grant Carr now, who played hero ball last November, late in the month, with that PK goal over Pontros FC.
Carr's a veteran defender, and he came in for Ramos because Ramos got that yellow card towards the end of the first half against Gordon.
See if Carr can have that same vital impact that his team will certainly need now here in the second half as he's with the ball. Chattanooga FC coming out with a high press. The question is, will the black and gold be able to break it quick enough and create chances off of it? To Mimi. A little sidestep, sets up a cross. Able to doink that one out of play.
Well, Tamimi can't believe it. They're saying he got the last touch and they're going to win that throw-in. Chuyap won the argument, but Tamimi is one of those players who had a very quiet first half. He has to get on the ball like he did just now. Didn't work out there, but you have to keep feeding the number 9 so he finds his rhythm in the second half.
Shove from behind on Tamimi, called for the foul. On May 31st, Charlotte, North Carolina welcomes the U.S. men's national team for the All-State Continental Classico against Senegal. Get your first look at the nation's biggest stars before they head to the FIFA World Cup this summer. The match kicks off at Bank of America Stadium at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Tickets are available now at ussoccer.com/tickets. What a year of soccer in this very country, Ryan. A lot to be excited about.
Get this. Everybody sit down and get this. It's a World Cup year. You know what happens in World Cup years? There are more assists. There are more goals. They're better defending. Higher scores. More attendance in the crowds. That's what a World Cup does. The ripple effect throughout the planet. We're talking the leagues around the planet here. Players get excited. Players want. Some players have the chance to make their team, right? But the players that don't, they feed off that fever, and the entire level of the game in a World Cup year rises. That's something. You can get off your chair now.
And you go back to the last time it was in the United States, that initial ripple effect is very much the reason why you have leagues like UPSL producing teams in this very competition. It's beautiful to see.
And that's when you have 14-year-old goals like Braden Kalonji scoring absolute gems in a World Cup year.
Tamimi under duress, but before the goal by Sidmohand, the combined age of the goal scorers was 31 tonight because of 17-year-old Darwin Ortiz.
Wow.
Sidmohand just had to ruin the party. But 31 years of combined age, you don't see that very often.
And that just is a testament to the landscape of US soccer. UPSL, MLS Next Pro, USL League 1, USL League 2, and opportunities for young players to earn their trade in this incredible sport.
Chattanooga FC, and it's Keegan Anselin with his first touch of the half. Sid Mohan cutting inside, Krell goes down, and it's a clean challenge. Shot from distance, just wide.
Tell you what, you love the follow-up, but Demise put a crunching tackle on Anselin. Look at this tackle by Demise right there. But again, ball given away, and a great effort with the follow-up. Just splice it wide. It was Krell.
And it looked like there was a touch, so we're going to get a corner kick on this opportunity.
So maybe now Gordon can provide something for Kohler and Demise.
Barely any wind today at Finley Stadium, 53 degrees, and the wind just 4 miles an hour to the north. Shouldn't affect the game too much. But a beautiful scene here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They call it the Scenic City for a reason. Unswinging ball headed on, and that's well placed, but just a little off.
Best delivery so far by Gordon in this entire match. Picks out Kohler, but the ball was just a little bit behind him, so he couldn't steer it into that last post.
Isaiah Jones all over that ball and called for the foul. And you can be sure of, on Kalonji Pro profile side, Ashton Maynard is going to see a lot more action inside the box, but he stood strong today so far.
He's brave. He's young and brave. That's the only way I can describe him. The St. Kitts St. Nevis U20 goalkeeper, has some international experience, and now gets a chance to play in the US's biggest and oldest cup, the US Open Cup. And boy, are we living and oozing and feeling the US Open Cup today.
And I will say, Amzian Sid Mohan, age 22 on that most recent goal. So still, you're seeing a lot of young players, again, get a chance to showcase themselves on the biggest stage, and that is exactly, we might sound like a broken record, but that's exactly what this competition is for.
Correct, and also something to work towards, because you have these stages, MLS Next Pro, USL tiers, you're afforded the opportunity to then work towards something and then perform. Which means the soccer landscape, it's working. Simple.
A lot of positive change indeed. Speaking of positive change, that's exactly been the story since the half-hour mark for Chattanooga FC. As Sorensen prized that ball away cleanly. Kalonji Pro profile keeping it momentarily.
Superb tackle.
Isaiah Jones all over that one. And it's one thing to go for the challenge and complete the tackle, but with precision, that's where you see the professional game come alive.
This is where Chattanooga start to find their mojo. They have a little bit of a swagger now on the ball. The defenders are slide tackling with confidence. The players who get the ball now feel that they cannot be dispossessed. So you love the built, not bought in the far part of your screen for Chattanooga. They take a lot of pride being an independent club in the MLS Next Pro. And why not? Why not tell the world that this thing was built from the bottom up?
Think about all the talent you get to go up against.
Now, Josh, I would do anything to be on that slippy slide in the background behind that goal. That will be fun for the entire 90 minutes.
See, I'm the type of guy, if I go on that slip and slide, I'm going past the tarp. I'm probably running into the rail. I might even have to bother Griffin Huff if I do.
You're the reason why you don't put slippy slides in the back of the goal usually.
I'm the reason the rail's there. As Tamimi plays it outside.
Ooh.
That would have been a great one-timing chance. Tamimi back on it, goes down. But a foul against Kalonji Pro Profile.
Well, I tell you what, Medard, since the penalty and since halfway through the first half, he's been a little tentative, the right midfielder for Kalonji. Ball came across to him and he tried to give it back to Tamimi, but he was off pace, he was just not accurate. And it's time for Medard and Tamimi to really step up, and the pressure is going to fall on those two wide players to create.
Kalen Kalonji will see the end of his day, and that brings in Zane Hilton, the 28-year-old Jamaican. He spent 4 years in the Jamaican Premier League. Most notably with Veer United FC, 15 matches and 2 goals. Bounced around as well to Portmore United and Waterhouse FC. The seasoned veteran coming out at the right time for the visitors.
I tell you what, the Jamaican League, it is absolutely competitive with Portmore, with Mount Pleasant, Tivoli Gardens. I mean, these guys, players from around the region in the Caribbean go to Jamaica to play in that league. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of how competitive it is, and to have a player like Hilton to step on the pitch now, big physical forward, try and get one back.
And he's very versatile as well. We've seen him hop in at the top of the formation. You can see 14, he's dropped in at center back. He can play the forward, step into the midfield. This is a guy that can give you the help wherever you need it.
Well, he scored this last weekend, so he's full of form. And he wants to get back in that scoring column again.
Chattanooga this year, 1 win and 2 losses in MLS Next Pro. And the beauty of the US Open Cup, and really any other competition, it gives you the chance to step aside from an area where you may be struggling, create some success, and use that momentum back in your mainstay of competition. And up next for Chattanooga FC, they'll take on Huntsville City in MLS Next Pro. The very club that ended their first ever run to the Next Pro playoffs a year ago.
Oh! Does it count?
You know, it looked like play was stopped before. The hand was up, the whistle was blown.
But it just gives you a snippet of the confidence they're playing in. More importantly, Amizain Seyd Mohand is on a cloud right now and could do no wrong.
How about Kohler? Hounding defense. Able to stay upright and avoid any contact, and Jones can play it forward.
Well, it takes 2 blue shirts to stop Medard. Just give you an idea how good the number 10 is on that far side for Kalonji.
One of the greatest rivalries in women's international soccer is coming to Seattle. The U.S. women's national team returns to Lumen Field for the first time in nearly a decade, facing Japan on Tuesday, April 14th. World Cup finals, Olympic thrillers, iconic moments. This rivalry has delivered it all, and now it's coming to the Pacific Northwest. So get your tickets today at ussoccer.com/tickets. What a year to be a soccer fan. Not just in the USA, but in the world. There's so much going on.
Yeah, I tell you what, I believe Croatia is playing Brazil in Orlando this week.
Here is Medard. Had an inviting chance. Can the ball be returned to him? His teammates able to draw a foul. Again, at the hour mark, Chattanooga FC leading Kalonji Pro Profile 2-1. And along with Ryan Davis, I'm Josh Lill. And what a great match this has been. Kalonji Pro Profile with a goal inside the first 20 minutes of play, courtesy of Braden Kalonji. And 2 unanswered for the hosts, 1 right before the break. by Darwin Ortiz, and then this half, just seconds in to the back end of this match, recorded by Amzian Sid Mohan.
Now, they have not been successful building the ball through the middle since halfway through the first half, Kalonji. Just getting little set pieces and throw-ins here allows them to get some numbers up in the Chattanooga box. And maybe a second ball can drop for a golden black shirt.
The height battle certainly looks, from our vantage point, to go the way of Chattanooga. So winning those aerial duels, it won't be as easy as you think. And Kalonji Pro Profile, that's a beautiful setup. Tried a little trickery to open up the inside, but again, the hosts right there in the right place.
Tell you what, Sarsar and Kola, they have not put a foot wrong so far in this match. The goal that they conceded was a penalty kick. Sarsar and Kola, the centre-back pairing of Chattanooga, 5 stars on Yelp.
First game at halftime other than ours, Charleston Battery on top of the Florida Badgers. 1-0 at the break.
1-0, not enough, still in the balance. Those Badgers can find their way back.
And what the wonders that a 1-0 lead would have done for Kalonji Pro Profile going to the break. It could have changed the narrative in its entirety.
Get a chance to regroup, remind everybody of their roles, responsibilities, get everybody hyped back up again for 45 minutes. That goal from Ortiz, more importantly, that back heel coming from Mohan, special.
This play initially starting off of a ball off the back of Anthony Sorensen, and finally ended on a takeaway by Keegan Anselin.
Time for a little bit of game management here from Chattanooga. Take the arrow to the ball, stroke the ball around, invite Kalonji on because they have to chase, of course, and now try to find space behind the back line.
Aaron touch there by Sid Mohan. We've seen some incredible ones. That one, not so memorable, but right there for the takeaway.
He comes right back and wins it back, Mohan. You love that. A coach will applaud. Understand that he made a mistake. He was a little too nonchalant on the side here, but he went right back and recovered the ball for his team.
Righting the wrong on that play, and it sets up this beautiful run and attack for Chattanooga FC. Flick on here, Sorensen, play in the middle, Gordon, just wide.
Well, Sorensen has been fantastic towards the end of the first half. Continue, look at the run he makes on Gordon's shoulder, a little back heel, back into number 19's path, but he goes on the wrong side of the goal. Gordon has to use technique and hook that ball. If he doesn't overcompensate, he's either going to go straight or splice.
Gordon and Sorensen able to create dynamic runs, whether they're underlapping or overlapping, and it's thrown this Kalonji defense off. How about the Chattahooligans continuing to pound those drums louder and louder?
They haven't stopped yet. I mean, since the first whistle they started, I think they took a break at halftime. We're not sure. We went to our break. I think they just keep on going.
Well, as a drummer myself, I'm quite impressed with how long they're playing for.
Those forearms must be on fire.
Yeah.
And we love it. We love it. Don't ever change, Chattahooligans.
Kohler's ball nearly taken away, but it will stay with Chattanooga FC. And the lifeline that they have provided, him and Sarsar in front of the young Griffin Huff, that's been quite huge and could help in the development in the long run for Huff.
Not only defensively, but at the ball at their feet, they've been able to bring the ball out of the back, get the ball out wide to players like Chuyap and Sorensen, and really start the attack for this Chattanooga team.
Short field to work for Kalonji Pro Profile. It's Tamimi. Swung around by Pavlotsky. Cross in, steered aside by Kohler. Back on and able to clear it out of the box. Medard hounded by Sorensen, and the frustration starting to kick in a little bit for Awansa Medard.
Yeah, Sorensen is, after being caught with that penalty, Sorensen has really dialed in on Medard, who's a tough customer to deal with. Medard, after going down with that tackle, went across to the assistant referee. Now the referee is pulling up his socks.
Ashton Gordon able to win the ball and flick it ahead to Krell, who's shoved out of play, heads up into the brick wall.
Well, he had to go through the other wall first. Grant Carr, who completely sent Krell off into the trenches afar.
Now, if you're Kalonji Pro profile, you never want to switch what you're doing. You want to stick to the basics and what you know. But in terms here is now we're in the 67th minute. We're starting to hit that final 22 minutes or so. You have to figure they're going to push the tempo up the field without leaving a ton of room behind because of how quick Chattanooga is.
Correct. You don't sell all your guns just yet. You still have 24 minutes remaining. Yes, you push up a little bit more aggressively, but you don't roll that dice until the last 10 minutes of the match. Then you start pushing defenders forward, and you push up that line all the way up. And yes, if one squeezes through, then it's a legit counterattack 1v1.
Tate Robertson checks into the match for Chattanooga FC a year ago. 9 goals and 10 assists. In both of those categories, led the team. And that's someone that can either play in the midfield or along the back line, just an offensive threat from all over the pitch.
He is incredible. I mean, we talk about an engine that can go 90 minutes. Yet, yes, he started on the weekend, hence the reason he's coming in to play the last 23 minutes. But he can control the middle. If he goes out wide, he can run up and down that line like nobody else's business.
Now, a key opportunity here for the black and gold. Set piece here with distance about 35-ish yards out. It finds a head, and it works to Huff, just not enough power on it. Darwin Ortiz, who opened up the scoring for Chattanooga FC, draws the foul. And the Kalonji Pro profile players very frustrated as Desmays will drop that ball in a bit of anger.
Every time Chattanooga win a free kick, it slows things down. It takes the air out of Kalonji's sails. Now they have to get everyone behind the ball, back in their own box. And Sorensen and company are just going to keep antagonizing. A little bit of game management. It's too early to defend a 1-goal lead, but they're not taking any chances, Chattanooga, in pushing too many blue shirts up.
Run here by Sid Mohand. That cross short-lived. Chance for a Kalonji Pro profile to get out and run if they're quick enough. And Tamimi just not given any breathing room. You mentioned Chattanooga FC coming off that frustrating loss last weekend to Chicago Fire 2. They've come out and played smash mouth footy.
Well, not after Kalonji were the ones really sort of antagonizing them through Medard and company. But then they found their rhythm. They stuck to their possession-based game. And in that possession, they found their rhythm. And that goal towards the end by Ortiz was so big that they could go into the half, regroup, and come back out. And then that man, Mohan, did the rest in the opening kick of the second half.
Injured man for Kalonji Pro profile.
So that was a goal by Ortiz just before the final was in the first half, and a goal by Mohan just at the beginning of that first whistle in the second.
And those come in 2 heartbreaking moments. You're oh so close to entering the locker room and just resetting the vibe. Then you come out of the locker room, you know your situation, and it completely changes. And how about this? Asheville City SC and USL League 2, even with the Greenville Triumph at 1 apiece.
Deadlocked, all to play for 45 minutes. Tell you what, the coaches are going to have to do their very best to get these guys up and running again in what was an end-to-end first half.
Sid Mohan takes a shove from behind on Nathan Chari. And in terms of the adjustment factor, talking about interim coach Richard Dixon, again played on one of the teams that last made it to the third round back in 2022 with Chattanooga FC. He knows what it's like to get decently far in this tournament. That has to play into some of that experience during that halftime talk, knowing what it takes to not only move on through each game, but each half.
And don't forget players like a Tate Robinson or an Alex McGrath. They're in that locker room too, shedding some light on the younger players, telling them what's expected, how much to respect this cup, how much there is an opportunity for a Kalonji to come in here and upset you, so you have to be on your A game. So getting the players up and ready to go is sometimes a collective effort with the coach and the experienced players.
And with Richard Dixon too, I mean, we're talking 92 matches in his time played with Chattanooga FC, and heading into this year, that's 6th all-time in the club's history. If anyone knows what goes on here with the boys in blue,
yeah,
it's Coach Dixon. A near dangerous touch, but playing the midfield right now by Chattanooga FC has gotten them back in this game. Shrieking runs down the middle.
Well, Hilton wanted the free kick, but Chuyap, just like Kola, just like Sasa, has not put a foot wrong so far in this match. Those three defenders have been on their P's and Q's for the better part of 72 minutes.
The U.S. women's national team will conclude its 3-match series against Japan on Friday, April 17th in Commerce City, Colorado, featuring the last 2 She Believes Cup champions. This top 10 matchup takes place on a special Hello Kitty themed night at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Secure your tickets today at ussoccer.com/tickets. Run here for Hilton, looking to even it. Massive stop! Griffin Huff.
A penalty save in the first half and a foot save in the second to keep this thing at 2-1. But look at this delightful ball. First of all, fantastic defending by Demez. And a lovely through ball by Pawlowski into the path. And Hilton, look at the strong save by Huff, making himself large. I thought Hilton should get on that right foot and go to the last post. However, wrong decision, and Huff came off trumps.
But also credit to Farid Sarsar for closing down that angle. He didn't give Hilton any room to cut back and get to his right. So a team effort there between Huff and Sarsar, preventing a really good scoring chance.
Excuse me, that ball to Hilton was from Tamimi, actually. Fantastic pass to create the chance.
Here on the corner kick, an opportunity so desperately needed for Kalonji Pro Profile with outswing. To Chattanooga head. Cross from Chari. Played inside. It's a sitter and it's denied. A couple of great chances for Tony Tiente, and he cannot capitalize.
The ball ends up on his slippy slides, but Tiente had a great look here. I love the effort from right back, by the way. And it falls from a second time right here. You have to keep your head down, have to keep your chest over the ball. Now the kids are playing with the ball and the slippy slides, and there's no chance to score on Chattanooga on that sequence.
Speaking of slips, Sarsar to the ground, getting checked on by Nathan Kohler. And a couple of great chances, and you're going to need more set pieces like that if you're Kalonji Pro Profile. So get to the byline, force Chattanooga to play defense and set yourself up for corner kicks. Oscar Jaramillo in for Kalonji Pro Profile. Donning number 29 will be a key part of the final 15 minutes of play or so.
Well, he's a technical player with a left foot that can play out of spaces. Just the type of player you need in midfield to maybe create some room for other players.
Here's Gordon. He's had pace all day. Key touch there from Carr. It's kept in. Maynard off his line. And what a smart play there by Nathan Chari to slowly dribble the ball back to Maynard.
Well, he saved the ball on his own line. Maynard, you never do that. He could have let it go out for a corner. I understand he doesn't want to give it up, but he put his team in even more danger in keeping that ball in play. Such a young player, 18 years old. Goalkeepers get better with age.
He's had a great game nonetheless, but a couple of chances in the first half, especially on Chattanooga corner kicks, way off his line, and then you're relying on team defending from the field players.
Correct. Just a rush of blood. If you're going to get there, you got to get there. If you don't, it's an empty goal. Now, with just under 15 minutes remaining, again, there's no such thing as defending a one-goal lead. But if you are Chattanooga, the ball stays out wide. And if the ball is giving away out wide, players are now in the inside, compact, not allowing Kalonji to get in on goal through the middle. Kalonji is going to have to go back out wide to create something.
Or find a chance in transition. Nice header flick. Cross on the byline. It's hung in the air, and Sorensen was able to get to the ball first. Jaramillo, excuse me. He just could not connect with Medard. And he goes back the way of Chattanooga.
Well, Sorensen again doing a great job protecting that last post. He took a touch and invited Jaramillo, but again, he stayed with it and shepherded him out.
Quick touch from Medard. Not one too far ahead of Jaramillo. Don't the Chattahooligans make you want to sing along?
They do it so sweetly.
Referee going to his pocket and showing a yellow card. Waiting on the official ruling is Grant Carr having a word after the booking to Keegan Anselin. We've seen a few nice touches taken out of the air by Kalonji Pro Profile.
And now you just see Tate Robinson right here sitting in front of Sassar and Kolop, applying and giving that protection. And uh-oh.
And not the scene you want to see.
The piano string has just burst.
Amzian Sid Mohand going right to the ground and being aided by Isaiah Jones on this injury. Not the sight you want to see.
The worst injuries in this sport is usually when no defenders around. And Mohan had a defender backing up. No contact. This was all Mohan and the artificial turf. He takes off right there. And there it was. Gone. His strike, though, separates these two teams. And his back heel to equalize. He has been the player of the match so far.
It's tough, too. He was trying to regather himself as Anthony Garcia will come on for Sid Mohand. And when you're making that adjustment on the turf field, it can create that awkward movement. And right now, we just send our thoughts and best wishes to Sid Mohand and the rest of Chattanooga FC.
What a shift he put in tonight. Been spectacular. Now the Garcia is a guy with a very large engine. He can run a lot, cover a lot of ground, sort of a box-to-box player. And just the exact ingredient that this Chattanooga team needs coming towards the last 10 minutes of this match. Doesn't provide the skill of a Mohan, but he provides the industry.
Brings back a little bit of that height as Sid Mohan stands 6'3". Garcia still a tall 6'2". So you're bringing a threat in set pieces, aerial duels, but nonetheless, to lose a player to a non-contact injury, it's always a tough sight.
What a ball.
Gordon, feed inside, massive stop there by Maynard.
What a raking pass from the back. Gordon's first touch was delightful. Right into the path of Creel. It was a sweeping move. But that's the type of space they're going to get as this Kalonji team pushes up, though.
Long ball played up ahead. Here's Zane Hilton. Hilton with Chayop defending. Gives it away to Jones. He took some contact on the foot. And the visitors visibly frustrated now. Felt like there was slim contact of that.
This was Gordon's delightful touch right into the path of Anselin. He should have done more. He just put it right in front of the goalkeeper. When you are just past the penalty spot, you have the ability to pick a slot and go for it.
And you know, Maynard, a young goalkeeper, you have to credit him for not complicating things too much. He kept it simple.
Yeah.
Stayed in the spot that he knew it would go.
Yep. Anticipation. But again, that ball over the top to find Gordon is something we're going to see again. If Chattanooga get a chance to play the ball around the back, the lines are going to push up for Kalonji, and that space for Gordon and the new guy, Garcia, is going to open up on the sides.
High fly ball at the 45-yard line. Still hasn't come down yet. Eventually does. You see the quickness Garcia works with. Lucky there's a couple of defenders there to stop it.
Again, game management here, keeping the ball towards the sidelines. Even if the ball is given away, blue shirts are back.
Dangerous opportunity. It's Gordon. That shot denied. Diving effort by Grant Carr to get in the way. And he keeps his side in it.
Desperate defending by the veteran centre-back. Just putting a body in front of his goalkeeper. It was a rocket. And a lot behind it. But because Sarsar and Koda now are sitting back comfortably, there's just nowhere to go for Kalonji. What a touch.
Gordon sees an opportunity. Settles it down. Dancing and cutting in. It's Gordon. Curling ball. What a stop! Ashton Maynard with a Superman-like move. He keeps his side only down by one.
Well, the technique was amazing. We always talk about players having to overcompensate and hook the ball when the ball is running away from their body. Right here. Look how he overcompensates there to get the ball to that last post. But guess what? Maynard was on it all the way, and the acrobatic St. Kitts and Nevis man was right on it.
Officially named the starting goalkeeper last season, so you get used to that role in 2025 and has owned it here in 2026. And there's so much to be excited about with the youngster, as Ethan Joyner set to come in for Nathan Chari. Header for Kohler, it's off the pipe. Settled down and denied off the back of Demis. Chance from distance takes another deflection, and the chances coming in bunches for Chattanooga FC.
Well, between Carr, Demis, and Irving, all the centre-backs are sitting right on top of either the goal line or the goalkeeper, and Kohler very unlucky. Fantastic effort coming in from Ortiz. But again, the centre-backs doing their job. You could say they're too far back, blocking Maynard, but at this point, they're just providing a body to protect that goal.
Because as we saw in the first half, it just takes one good fast break to even this thing up at 2.
That's right.
The substitutions held off for a few moments and now let in. Ethan Joyner and Taekwon Terrell in for the black and gold. Corner kick chance over the head of Garcia.
Oh,
what a move, cutting inside. So quick and elusive.
Love it. Love it from Garcia. Time to be inventive. Bring some adventure.
Solid challenge from behind. And that one called for a foul against Chattanooga FC, and it's greeted with boos from the crowd.
Nobody's paying attention, but that was a professional foul by Ortiz. Had no intent of playing the ball, just threw his body onto the player. Referee just calls for a harmless free kick, but that could have been more.
Time starting to run out on Kalonji Pro Profile's magical run to the US Open Cup. Again, first ever appearance for Bruno Kalonji's side.
2 players brought in. Ethan Joyner, young, composed, young midfielder. 17 years of age. I tell you what, he can provide that sort of finesse in midfield. And Terrell, he is a direct winger. Just what the doctor ordered. Speed down the sides for this Kalonji team.
Need a chance to get on the ball, and Chattanooga have taken that opportunity time and time again away from Kalonji Pro Profile. Three minutes and change left here until the announcement of stoppage time in the second half. Heavy touch from Chattanooga FC, and it sets up the visitors.
Now they're going to start rolling the dice. Now black and gold shirts have to start roaring forward, but Chattanooga just funneling wide, just shepherding him towards the sidelines. And Sarsar and Joyner have not missed a step between those two, that centre-back pairing.
What a nifty Meg there. Looked like Tamimi in the moment. Chayop up ahead. Carr has to be smart in the defending. Runs into Anselin.
Well, Anselin wants to foul. Carr being very, very physical.
And you talk about the play of Kohler and Sarsar. There can be a lot of heavy touches within the attacking third-forward team, and they have been all over those.
Their positioning has been spectacular. Now Ortiz goes down. This is going to take valuable seconds off the clock. And you can see that frustration.
Zane Hilton, good sportsmanship, trying to stretch out Darwin Ortiz. But in the midst of that, know that the opportunities are starting to become more slim as every second passes.
This was Ortiz right there, they entangled. He started to limp as the ball went out of play. But he knew exactly what he was doing. He came back onto the field. Look at this. Look at him come back on the field and drop.
Ortiz still getting stretched out. So that's both goal scorers today for Chattanooga have gone down. Again, for those just joining us, this free kick for Kalonji Pro Profile will very much be in their attacking third. Luke Huzakiewski will come in for the injured Ortiz and will exit to a thunderous roar. after a critical goal in first half stoppage time to even things up heading into the break.
Oh, just the man for Chattanooga, hard-working midfielder, Husakowski.
No free kick, my apologies. It was a throw-in.
Still, a lot of black and gold shirts forward for Kalonji to work with, but the delivery has to be quicker.
Tough play there from Irving. The lone man back as number 6 with the ball will have 6 minutes of stoppage time to work with here. It appears him and Grant Carr will be the only reinforcements protecting Ashton Maynard.
Well, already the center backs have pushed up. The maze is now getting closer and closer towards that 18-yard line for Kalonji.
Again, those bouncing balls and heavy touches are just taking away any momentum for Kalonji Pro profile as Hilton steps in.
Superb skill.
Swung around by Irving. DeMace. And Sorensen just winning that ball with experience.
After he gave away the penalty, he completely sewed up that left-hand side and he fixed his errors in that first half.
And again, only being a few weeks into the regular season in MLS Next Pro, sure to be the fitness levels will continue to climb for Chattanooga FC. Ansel wreaking havoc. And Kalonji struggling to maintain possession and create lengthy attacks. That one might have taken a touch. No, it did not. And this will hurt them.
Love the decision by Gordon just to ask the question and put the ball into Ansel in space. And because of the artificial turf, the ball is just moving so quickly that the defenders can't control it. So they cleared out to the sidelines, and they're going to stay right over here with Anselin and Gordon.
Gordon, who may have not got on the stat sheet tonight, probably one of, if not the most important player on the pitch for both clubs. Long ball played by Irving. Popped up by Gordon. Chattanooga would love to get out on the fast break. It's Gordon, takes a shove from behind and draws the free kick, and a yellow card shown without hesitation.
Well, Joyner is behind the play. Even though it was shoulder to shoulder, it was more a shoulder towards the back of Gordon. Gordon had the step on him. And as he went through right here, he's behind him. Good call by the referee. And this is going to take some seconds, if not minutes, off the clock. Can they test? Tate Robinson is a genius at dead balls. He can absolutely test Ashton Maynard from here.
Yellow card shown to Ethan Joyner. Chattanooga would love one more dagger to the hearts of Kalonji Pro profile. And Ashton Gordon, who's done just about everything in this match for the boys in blue, would love to get on the stat sheet for the first time. Little misdirection and a good stop there from Ashton Maynard.
You love the anticipation. It was well struck by Robinson, did everything right, got it over the wall, got it down, but Maynard, understanding where Robinson wanted to go, got there in time.
Robertson with a great right foot.
And I believe Gordon and Anselin are going to keep this ball right here in the corner flag with just about a minute to go.
75 seconds and counting. Chattanooga FC's never made it past the third round. Fell there most recently in 2023 and 2022. Most notably, that opportunity 4 years ago was with current interim coach Richard Dixon. As Garcia strike takes a deflection. Key takeaway from Terrell. Double team with Hilton paid off. Tracked down by Jaramillo and loses it momentarily. Has to get on it quickly. Chance in the center. Braden Kalonji might let it loose, and a good catch from Griffin Huff.
Well, why not? After scoring an absolute gem earlier tonight, Kalonji on his weaker left foot this time.
And there it is, the final whistle. Chattanooga FC are moving on to the second round of the U.S. Open Cup, defeating Kalonji Pro Profile on home turf 2-1.
Great showing by UPSL and Kalonji tonight, coming into Chattanooga, taking the lead. Chattanooga had to score on either side of halftime to get this result. Fantastic night in U.S. Open Cup, and yet again, U.S. Open Cup bringing out the best in the soccer landscape of this country.
In their 11th appearance in the tournament, Chattanooga FC await their opponent at the end of March/start of April. Well, this one certainly did not disappoint. Kalonji Pro Profile taking part in their first ever U.S. Open Cup. And it all starts here with Owanja Medard.
Medard drawing Sorensen's tackle, winning the penalty, and Kalonji has a chance to take a lead.
And Griffin Huff stepping up with confidence to defend Tony Tiente's penalty, but then a circus shot to the upper right corner by Braden Kalonji, the 14-year-old, opens things up.
He doesn't know any better. He doesn't know he's supposed to pass that ball. Fantastic finish, and what a moment for the youngster.
Ashton Gordon had a lot of chances created tonight. This one might be the best, as Krell's pass left on a silver platter, and Darwin Ortiz able to finish off the flick from Amzian Sid Mohan.
The magic of Braden Kalonji and the magic of Mohan to set up that goal for the equalizer.
And then another opportunity. It was Zane Hilton had that shot saved. A good closeout here. And Chattanooga kept pouring on the opportunities.
Yep, here comes Gordon. His strike, fantastic save by Maynard.
And then a header here from Kohler, and this was the first of 3 big chances for the hosts.
The centre-backs just staying in front of their goalkeeper until finally Robertson and Maynard just anticipating well for his final save of the night.
And here was the game winner, and this literally came 17 seconds out of halftime.
Mohan doing the hard work. Look at the runners. Anseline, Crail, no thank you, I'll do it myself. 2-1.
Able to beat the young goalkeeper, and you wonder, that message from Coach Dixon certainly had an impact headed into the second half, but overall, the shots just overwhelming in possession. Not a shocker with the way things turned out in the last 60 minutes or so of this match.
Yeah, Chattanooga settled down and possessed the ball, started to wear Kalonji down. Kalonji went into a bit of a shell as soon as they conceded before the half. Chattanooga came right back out in the second half, grabbed him by the throat, got the lead, and Kalonji never really got back into the match because of the high possession rates by Chattanooga. 23 shots to 7, by the way. The possession was well orchestrated and created chances because of it.
Kalonji Pro Profile came out playing smash mouth footy early on, opening the scoring, but it was Chattanooga FC competing super hard over the last 60 minutes to take this one 2-1 in advance to the second round of the U.S. Open Cup. For our entire crew, a huge thank you to Ryan Davis. I'm Josh Lill saying so long from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga FC defeats Kalonji Pro Profile 2-1.